Hello everybody, this is Leah from the Ida Public Library, and I am here to go ahead and share with you a new program that we're going to be offering, and it's our Dungeons & Dragons to Go kit. So if you come on into the library, what we have here is we've got a little folder that has everything you need to start a Dungeons & Dragons campaign of your own. So if you've ever been interested in Dungeons & Dragons, which is a tabletop role-playing game, I'm sure you've heard of it before. If you've ever been interested, but you've seen the books and they're like, oh, that looks like a lot of stuff I have to read, this has everything you need already set up. You don't have to do any planning. You don't have to create your own characters. Everything you need is in this set. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what's all in here. So what we've got in this set is, this is going to be for up to 5 players, and that includes 4 player characters and 1 dungeon master. So 1 person will be the dungeon master, and up to 4 people can play as the characters. If you have a few more people than that, or you have a few less, that's okay. This is actually completely customizable. So if you have less characters or less people to play as characters, that's okay. You only have to use as many of the characters as you need. If you have a couple more, there is a website or a Google Docs Drive folder that we will have a link to in our description here that will have some extra character sheets that you can print out and add to your campaign. So when you open this up, you're going to start here with this little intro sheet. This will let you know what's Dungeons & Dragons, how you get started, and it'll have information about how to use dice. The only thing this kit does not have is dice. You will need some dice to roll. If you don't have, a 20-sided die hanging around, that's okay. There are plenty of apps, and also Google will roll for you, and you'll have information about that all here. So once you've gotten through your intro sheet, there are several packets in here. So all the players will want to look at the player packet. So this player packet has inside, it'll have an introduction to our characters that you can pick from, our lovely characters. And you'll be able to pick those from those characters. And it has the QR code that'll lead you to the Google Drive that has all of that extra information, extra character sheets if you need those. Mostly what you're going to find inside the player packet is how to read your character sheet. Now, if you've ever looked at Dungeons & Dragons and thought, oh, that's so much to remember, this is your little quick glance guide. So if you need to know what are these stats that are on the side of the sheet, this is what you would need to read through just to know what's on your character sheet. And this, you don't have to read it all at once. It can just be a little quick check, little reference guide for while you're playing. But that's all you're going to have in here for your player characters, along with a little bit of info about what you do as you play. So that's all you got. That's all you need for the players. Now, the Dungeon Master packet is whoever you decide is going to be the Dungeon Master is going to look at this, and the players don't want to look at this. This is not something you want to share with your players because it's got all the secrets in it. Now, in this kit, this packet, if you've never been a Dungeon Master before, it'll introduce you how to do that. It'll introduce you how the gameplay works. And this is the one thing you can share with your players. This is a guide to how combat works. So if you aren't sure what the step-by-step for that is, you can use that. But most importantly, this has got your story. Now, Dungeons & Dragons, of course, is always about doing an adventure. It's about exploring things and fighting monsters and finding treasure. So all of this in here is everything the Dungeon Master needs to know about non-player characters who can tell the player characters about different clues. It has a map, and I'm only going to give you a little peek because I don't want to spoil anybody. It has a map that you can use, and it has important information about monsters, about what you can find in each area, how to describe it to your players. If you've never been a Dungeon Master before, this can guide you along. If you have been a Dungeon Master before, but you don't really feel like coming up with your own adventure this week, you can use this as your guide to giving your players a fun adventure. Now, what else is in this kit is you've got your character sheets. Like we said, that there is a bunch of pre-made characters in this kit. You've got 4 packets for pre-made characters in here. So again, there's 4 characters in here. If you need more, you can print them off from our Google Drive. So again, here's all your pre-made characters. If you've never made a character before, you can just use these. And finally, there is attached to certain character sheets are some spell cards. Now, not all 4 of these characters use spells, but for the 2 that do, those come with spell cards. So they will show you, tell you how you can use magic in your game, how to cast the spells as you're using them in the gameplay. And it has a detailed card for each spell that your character knows, so you know exactly how to use it in the game. And that is everything that we've got in this kit. So if you are interested in playing Dungeons & Dragons, if you've never done it before, or even if you have done it before and you just don't feel like coming up with your own adventure this time, this is all that you're going to need in order to create your very first or your very next Dungeons & Dragons game. So go ahead and come on into the library and pick up one of these folders. Everything you need is inside. And let us know if you use these. Let us know how your game went. Did you enjoy it? Is there anything that didn't make any sense? Let us know, and we might make another one of these if you guys like this first one. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you'll come in and pick up our Dungeons & Dragons To Go kit. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.